You generally use this for visualizing your data so you can make decisions about that, or also you're looking at your result to see how well your model did. Okay, let's look here. I'm going to talk about line plot, and I'm going to talk about bar plot, scatter plot, histogram. Each one of these plots have their own purpose. The way that I structured this is I import the libraries for each one of these plots individually. I have imported matplotlib multiple times. While only once is going to be enough, but I just wanted to show you, I just wanted to have complete code for each one of these plots individually. Let's first talk about line plot. So line plot is used for figuring out the trends. Like for example, when you're looking at the stock market plots, you will see how the price is changing over time and things like that. For those type of stuff, line plot is pretty good. You just want to track the trends and changes and things like that. And for this, I'm going to import matplotlib because the line plot is inside of the library of matplotlib, pyplot. And then I'm going to create a data set for it because I just want a very simple data set to show how line plot works. So now first, let's explain this line of code. Our x is going to, that means our horizontal line, and we're going to use it as horizontal line, is going to be an array of 100 values. And these values are going to be between 0 and 10. So we have, so this is indicating that we want 100 values in this array, and this is the start value, and 10 is the maximum value. And then for y, we're going to take whatever number that shows up in our array, and we are going to create the sine wave of it. This whole thing will create a wave line pattern. So that is pretty good because we said we're going to look at the trends and changes, right? So now I'm just going to, and this is just plotting it. These are very straightforward. I'm not going to really explain those because you actually can just copy paste and replace them. So I don't think much explanation is necessary for that. So first I'm going to just run line plot. Here you go. So this is our line plot, and we created the sine wave. And next one, we're going to talk about bar plot. So bar plots are generally used for categories. So for example, if you want to figure out, for example, if you're going for grocery shopping, you want to figure out how many apple, how many oranges, how many bananas you bought, then you can create a bar and say, for example, you create a rectangle that has a length of 3 if you have 3 apple, and then the other one a length of 2 if you have 2 bananas. So you need to have a categorical, and the other one have to be a value. It can be a continuous value. Okay, so I imported matplotlib again, and also I have a category which is just A, B, C, D, and I'm going to give the values of 5, 7, 2, 4 for each one of them. So A is going to correspond to 5, B to 7, C to 2, and then D to 4. So now if I run only this portion of my code so we can see the bar plot. Here, as you can see, for A, we have 5. For B, we have 7, as indicated here. And then C2 and D is 4. The next one that we're going to talk about is scatter plot. We're just looking at the relationship between two variables. Like, for example, you can look at the relationship between height and age. And as you can imagine, till a certain point, whenever the age increases, the height increase as well. Things like that. Or for example, you want to see the hours of study and exam scores. So I have an X which have 100 values, and the value is between 0 to 10. So that means it starts from 0 and ends at 10, but any values in between, like for example 0.5 or things like that, is going to be the values it will get to reach the get 100 values between these two values. And then I'm going to again create a sine wave for this. And I'm going to plot the scatter plot here. Now let's just look at how my scatter plot is going to look. Histogram is just shows the distribution of different things. Like for example, Gaussian is a histogram, right? It will show, for example, one of the most common one that we know about is the IQ score, the histogram for IQ score. I think that is the most common one that most people seen histogram with. It will create bins, and it doesn't always have to be in a bell-shaped curve. You can It actually shows you insight about if your data is skewed, if your data set is skewed, or in general it will show you how your data is distributed. So now let's run histogram and see histogram. Oh no, I made a mistake. So histogram, just this. Yeah, so this is how histogram looks like. We have different bins here, and then they have to be equal size. You can't have, for example, a bin being size of 10 and another one size of 20. All of them have to be the same size.